Now we're going to take a look at a defense for the tackle pass or the leg ride. A lot of people get caught up on pushing on the shoulder and doing some things with their hands that aren't going to help them. We need to get rid of being nice and start doing jiu-jitsu. This is a combat sport. This is not dance. We need to curl our fingers back and start to push up on the face. Make sure that we're not putting anything in the eyes or sticking any fingers in any orifices, but it's important that we push up on that head because the head is the key to taking your spine out of alignment. All right, Nelson's got inside. He started to hug my legs. Now, I see a lot of students, they get caught up in pushing on that shoulder, or they try to bring that hand in for the underhook, and that's really what we want, but there's no space there, and by the time it shows up, it's going to be too late. We talked about pushing up on the head. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. When his head's to the inside, it's very easy. We're going to curl those fingers back. Our palms are going to go to that forehead, and we're going to start to push space. You can see that he doesn't really like that, and it starts to create space in here underneath his arms. Whether or not I go for an underhook over here, or I go for the one that I really want over here, we need to create that space. If his head is on the outside, which happens from time to time, you still need to banana your body and dig that head. And look at how I'm pushing up. There's no doubt that my fingers aren't going in his eyes, I'm not sticking fingers in his ears, I'm not pulling on his ears. This is absolutely necessary, and if you're not doing it because you're pushing on the shoulder, if I push on the shoulder, he can switch his hips, all right? If I push up on the knees or I do back here, he can compensate for that other ways. When I push up on his head, his hips need to go lower. If his hips can't go lower, then he needs to create space or it's going to hurt him, all right? Not violent, just pushing up. Now you can see this space that I've made in here. That's where I need my hand to go, all right? So I push up on the head, I make a little bit of space with my hips, I see the window, I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm going to bring that hand underneath and I start to grab the belt. Now, some people will get overzealous and still continue to pass here. When he starts to pass here, that's when I have that underhook option, all right? That's when I can chuck. If he gets that overhook, that's okay. Just make sure that you dig that underhook and that you're moving your hips. It's a much better place than having your legs killed and your hips killed by having him hugging them. Let's look at it again. I'm controlling, he's controlling, he's holding onto the legs. Oh man, life is terrible here. No. No. Yes. Okay? I'm not saying this is the only option. If you like sitting switch and all that other great stuff, those are awesome moves. We're going to go over those later. But pushing up on the face is a surefire way to make some space for my hand to go under for that underhook. Even if he starts to collapse me down and starts to pass, me having this underhook is going to ensure that he can't dominate me and hold me down. I know a lot of people play overhook. I know a lot of people like it. Me personally, I am all underhook all the time. All right, he's tackled those legs. Oh, I'm starting to get past. Hands underneath the forehead. I'm going to push up. Look at how I make a little bit of space with my hips. He's already starting to pass my legs. That's bad, but you can see this space right in here. This is what I want. When he starts to continue to pass, it's going to be very difficult for him to dominate me and keep me down. The goal was to break open that grip on his hands and ensure that I get that underhook. The underhook is the pathway to the back. Push up on the head, guys. A lot of times they'll start to pass. The good people, when they realize that you're pushing up, they're losing domination of the legs, they're not going to stay tight, they'll let go with their hands, they'll posture up and they'll start to use a different pass. And it was all bought for you by pushing up on the forehead with your palms.